It's loading right now.
Perfect. Oh, dope.
It's loading. And we are live. Okay, cool. We are live. All right, let me record. All right. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right, we are live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another session of the Gobble Club podcast. You guys already know. My name is Will. I'm the host of this show. If you're wondering why am I wearing a suit right now, because usually I don't wear suits. I just came from a wedding. I barely made it to this live stream, so I just really just got off from a wedding. My brother just got married, but like I said, I still gotta make time to make sure the show must go on every single weekend. So yeah, nevertheless, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching this for the first time, thank you so much for tuning in. To all my subscribers out there, always show me so much love and support to my channel. Thank you so much for giving me all the support. But real quick, before we start the show, please show some love real quick. Please like and subscribe to the channel. If you love the content, if you love these beautiful guests, these beautiful ladies on the show, might as well like and subscribe. You're gonna be here and watch this live show. All right. So nevertheless, don't forget, this is a live show. Please drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know where you guys from. Let me know what your opinions are. We have some variety of different topics and questions we're going to talk about tonight regarding modern day dating relationships. And don't forget, you got everybody that does super chat on my channel. You guys always send me super chat donations. Thank you so much. So if you guys want to send a super chat donation, ask it through a question, and so that way I can read this question or read the topic or read your thought live on the show. Or if you have a question specifically to the ladies, write it through a super chat, and I'll be able to read it to the ladies, and the ladies can respond to it live on the show. And if you do send a super chat donation, I'll definitely give you a shout out during the live show. And thank you so much for all those who always send me donations to my channel through the super chats. Much love to you guys. But nevertheless, let's get right on to it. We have a live show tonight. We have a great show tonight and some beautiful ladies on the show. Ladies, can you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves real quick? Your name, what your possible age, what do you do, and what is your relationship status? I know a lot of guys over here like to know. All right, I'll start with you, Christine. Go ahead.
Oh, well, my name is Christine. I am in Texas, 35-year-old. Actually currently married, have 2 kids, but my marriage is kind of going downhill. Yeah, we are like 5 minutes before to be divorced. It's complicated, but I'm very open to talk about it. It's all good. He works overseas all the time. I don't really actually see him a whole lot. I do my thing. He does his own thing. Obviously, we're having relationship problems, sex problems also.
All right. Well, you came to the right place. All right. Thank you, Christine. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate you. Whitney, go ahead. Introduce yourself real quick.
Hello, I am Whitney Blues. That's a fake name. I'm a 37-year-old, very single content creator for OnlyFans. And I think I'm a comedian as well. I'm not sure. That's it. I live alone with my dog. It's good in California as well.
All right, no worries. All right, thank you, Whitney. Thank you so much for joining us. Excited to have you on the show. And last but not least, go ahead, Colleen.
Hi guys, nice to meet all of you, and thank you, Will, for having me being a part of your podcast tonight. My name's Colleen Omabel. I am 20 years old. I am from Toronto, Canada, and right now I work full-time at a recording studio, and I am currently single.
All right. Thank you, Colleen. So we got a whole cast of single women, and one of them about to be single.
Maybe right after the show.
Possibly single. So thank you so much for all joining, ladies. So thank you so much. Drop a comment, let me know. Show some love. Please like and show some love and support to all the ladies. Drop a comment, let me know what your thoughts are. But nevertheless, let's get right into it, ladies. I hope you guys are ready for the very first question. I want to start it off hot. And but my first question is it's a real simple question. As you mentioned, ladies, you guys are all single or almost single. Why are you single? You know, I'm looking at you ladies. You guys all are very attractive ladies. You guys are all beautiful ladies. So yeah, why are you guys single? That's my first question. Why are you ladies single? And I'll start with Colleen. Why are you still single?
Honestly, I'm just very focused on my career right now. But I
Mm,
find that like, someone being in their 20s, I find a lot of people, especially like girls that are in their early 20s, overly romanticize about like having a relationship, seeking that validation, and I just want to focus towards loving myself more and like
mm,
building a future for myself before
mhm,
finding a partner. So yeah, I'm just focusing on myself. I'm on my grind. I'm chasing my dreams and I'm just doing the things that make me happy.
mm. Okay. All right. So you're just on your grind and just chasing the things that make you happy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Winnie.
Uh, my answer is similar. I mean, I would say that I'm currently single by choice because I am focused as well on my own career and I'm just like constantly working. I thought like leaving a real job and working for myself would be like, I'm never going to think about work. No, it's all I think about. So, and also the type of work that I do because I make and sell videos and nudes and stuff like that on the internet. I think that a lot of guys are like, yeah, I'll totally date you. And then they're like, actually, just, they get into it a couple weeks into it and they're like, fuck this. So I think that for me, it's a combination of being really focused and then also I don't really attract the kind of people I want, and the people I do want are not going to date an OnlyFans like
Yeah.
your porn star typically.
Yeah.
That's and that's okay. That's okay.
Oh,
I'm good. I'm fine.
oh, all right. No worries. Okay. If you guys want to know her OnlyFans, drop a super chat donation, and then we'll give you guys an OnlyFans account.
Weird stuff.
All right. And last but not least, Christine, go ahead.
Oh,
I need-
well, it's obviously not really by choice at this moment, but it is what it is. It's just getting bad. It's been bad actually from almost from the beginning, to be honest with
Mhm,
you. It's
mhm,
never great.
mhm.
It was just okay, and then it just got worse and worse and worse. And now I kind of consider myself single. Like he's openly like telling me you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
I am single, but I don't know even how to choose, how to call it. Is it by choice? Definitely not by choice. No.
Yeah, I'm very interested real quick. I do want to ask a follow-up question. Do you guys want to get married? Like, do you guys want that? Do you guys, I mean, you guys are all single, but do you guys want to get married, settle down, have kids, the traditional happy ever after ending?
Tell you for myself from the beginning. When I got married, I was very I am conservative, okay, and I have this conservative mindset. I had a vision of a family structure in my head, and it's very traditional. I was like 100% mom. I was 100% all the time at home, doing chores, doing all this type of like paying bills, um, even cutting the grass on myself. I never even paid to nobody because I would be just saving like even $30. Um, and then gradually it just got like I lost my identity in a way. So I guess I became a little bit boring for my husband or whatnot. I don't know what was the deal, but
Did you guys live together in the beginning? Yes.
no.
He was always deployed away.
Out of like 7 years, maybe 7 months altogether.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
tough.
That's
tough.
not much at all.
Yeah, and then I start complaining maybe towards the end, and then that's how everything just like crashed.
I mean, does he struggle? I mean, obviously you're struggling with it. 7 months out of 7 years, but but is he struggling with it? He's not able to see you.
Well, I don't know. He doesn't want to see me. Like he was actually seeking for his new contracts for his job to be out from the house because it got just toxic. And then he doesn't know how to fix it. He doesn't want to fix it, so he just finds himself a long ass contract so he can have this excuse to leave.
Why? I mean, I'm just curious. Why have you guys lasted 7 years? Like, how
Because
long?
Because of kids.
Oh, kids, got you. Okay, kids came in along the
Okay,
way.
for as much as we like don't like each other, we are very I think we both are very good parents, and this is what hold us down. So,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. So if you happen to, because you said possibly this is ending soon. If it does end soon, like, do you
Am I
want to do it again? Huh?
If I want to be married again, no.
Yeah, no. So
No,
this is the
this
first and last.
Yeah, this is it. I originally actually went for this marriage. My biological clocks were tick-tacking, so I was like getting close to 30. I was like, okay, I need to get like, kids done. It's like a check mark. And then he was around, and then just, things were just
Okay.
He just was a right person, I guess, at that moment. So like we never actually married for love. Not him, not me. Conveniency more than anything. So now we're in this shithole we are in, and then my son is actually the older son, who is 6 to be soon. He is against me divorcing, because I did have an open conversation with him. What do you think if we go separate ways? He kind of cried, so I was like, okay, because I was about to file myself, and because it's just a matter of time. Okay, it's gonna happen regardless. So I was gonna just do it myself. And then, but before I did it, I had an open conversation with my toddler, and then I'm in kindergartner, and then he said no. So he cried, and I was like, okay, maybe I just hold on. So I don't know what to do. For as much as I want to be divorced officially and like do my own thing, things just like holding me down.
All right. So you say you did, I heard you say you didn't marry for love, but for like so like you didn't. So what was it? Go ahead.
This is the guy. Okay, this is actually referring to one of the topics I was gonna talk about, like men's commitment. I don't know if I should start talking.
Okay, hold off that.
Yeah.
Hold off on that, and then we'll come back to that. All right, we'll circle back. All right. Whitney, same question. Like, do you like want to? Do you want? I know you're on your grind right now. You're doing your thing, but do you want to? At the end of the day, like, do you want to settle down, eventually settle down with a man and get married and have that traditional family and kids and that happily ever after?
No. Okay, so that's not the full answer. No, I don't want a traditional family. I don't see myself raising children. I see myself having like a few 5 to 8 year long relationships. One in my 40s, maybe one in my 50s, and maybe I'll like really settle down with someone when I'm in my 60s for the long run. But like, I don't know. I've been a completely different person every like 7 years of my life. And I used to think I really wanted to be married when I was younger. And there was like phases where I went through that I was completely against it. And at the moment, I'm pretty against it. So I don't think that anyone's going to get me to walk down an aisle, even in like 5 years, because I flip-flopped on that shit like 8 times. Like, why am I going to be so certain next time? So I foresee a few long-term relationships. I guess the answer is no.
What if he's a billionaire?
So that's the thing that a lot of people come at me with, sugar daddy offers and offers of like I'll take care of you financially. You never have to worry about anything. And to me, that is a trap.
They're probably ugly, but what if he's like 6 foot tall, like 6?
I would still want my own. If he was a billionaire and he was cool with me having my own money on the side and like not relying, I would need an exit strategy. Like I'd need like 250K in the bank and a source of revenue coming in. I'm not going to be like, this man leaves me for someone younger or whatever, and then I'm just fucked with nothing and I left everything for this billionaire and now I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like, no. I like taking care of myself. So
yes, girl.
Thank you.
I love your strong, independent woman.
Yeah, I don't want to be trapped by a man. I think that scares the fuck out of me. Like I have friends that I feel are trapped by men right now, and I'm like, no, thank you.
Okay,
I feel the same.
Yeah.
All right, so okay, I do have a question, because I do want to respond to what you just said, right? Because one thing I know about men, because one thing I always talk about my podcast is like, men and women, we show commitment differently. And men, the way we show commitment is through provision and protection. Like when a man truly loves a woman, it's our natural way to like, we want to protect you, we want to provide, we want to take care of you. So, if a man's really a man, is a good man, he's very masculine, like he wants to take care of you. So I know that's one of the things I do hear from a lot of women is like, especially the modern women today, is like, I don't want a man to take care of you because what if he leaves? What if he leaves, right? But
I don't want to find myself reliant upon a man. There's a difference. You want to buy dinner every time we go out? Fuck yes, do it. Enjoy. You want to buy me shoes? Absolutely. But are you going to pay my bills? No.
Yeah.
Are you going to pay my car? Absolutely not. Like, there's a difference between being taken care of and being owned by someone.
But if like I said, but that's what I'm saying is like, if a man truly loves you, he doesn't mind doing that, right? He doesn't mind paying for your bills.
But he also doesn't mind me paying them either, if he truly loves me.
But what I'm saying is like, think about it, right? You're gonna eventually have kids, right? Like
No.
eventually, so
Absolutely not.
You don't want no kids at all.
I'm 37. I gave my egg, donated my eggs 9 times. I have 14 biological children in the United States and Europe and Australia, and that's good. And my niece is 20 years old. Like I'm not having kids.
All right, no worries. Also, another question.
Very doubtful.
Also, you said that you're afraid that the man leaves you, right? So I want to ask you, where does that fear come from? Was it like, where because usually when you like, when you're in love with somebody, like you have to be optimistic that things are gonna work out. I mean, of course, no relationship is gonna be guaranteed, but you have to have the genuine feeling that, what, I mean, I know it's a risk, but I have to believe it's gonna work out, right? And a lot of times I do meet people that they have this fear, and
right.
And this fear, it stops them from actually taking a risk. They do finally meet a good man,
Well,
but they let that man go because of this fear. And then sometimes they look back at the end of their life. You know what, man, the guy actually came, but I was afraid because of that fear, and he let go. And now that guy's married somebody else, which could have been you. So my question is like, where did that fear originate? Like, did it come from a past? Like, because fear comes from something. If you're afraid of something, usually comes from something.
Exactly where my fears are from.
Where did it come from?
I have massive abandonment issues. My brother committed suicide.
Got you.
I'm a fucking disaster. But it's like, I'm not afraid of a man leaving me. I just think I'm afraid of putting all my eggs in one basket.
Okay.
My fear isn't the man leaving. I'm not worried about that. I think I've never met the person who I want that was like, I've never been in a relationship where we were both on the same page. So if I had a fear of it ending, it was because I'm like, this motherfucker has one foot in a shoe and the other foot is in a boot. Like he doesn't like, he's not in this relationship. He doesn't give a fuck. He just wants them right now. And that's cool.
So you've never met a man that was faithful and committed to your relationship with you in the past?
No, I have. I'm just saying our relationships were short-lived. Like I've had relationships, but I'm like, they weren't like the one forever. I don't know.
I mean, was there ever a man in the past where you met that was a good man? He was faithful to you, he loved you. Like, have you ever had that type of relationship before?
2 boyfriends that were good boyfriends and faithful, but we outgrew each other. That's what I'm saying. Like their relationship was really good while it was the relationship, but then eventually I outgrew both of them, honestly. But I wasn't like, I'm afraid he's gonna leave me, because I was like, get the fuck out of my house. I want a spare bedroom. Like, I don't know.
All right, no worries. Yeah, I'm just curious. Like when you say outgrew, like what do you mean? Outgrow.
I mean, I matured more than they did at that time in their lives, and I was ready to move forward in the next step in mine, and they were like still doing the dumb shit they were doing. So I ended the relationship and moved on. That's why I said I think I'm gonna have a few 5-year to 10-year relationships with people who are cool, but I'm going to surpass them and leave them behind.
All right. Okay. No worries. Okay.
My plan.
Okay. All right. No worries. And last but not least, Colleen, same thing with you. Why are you still single?
No.
No. I'm sorry. No. My question was, do you want to? And I'm sorry. That was the first. The follow up question is, do you want to get married at the end of the day? Have kids, have a family, and have that happily ever after life.
Honestly, guys, ever since I was little, that was like one of like my dreams. It was like this fantasy that I had, right? Because I've always been a hopeless romantic, and I think I always will be. But as I get older, I think I kind of lean towards maybe I don't want to get married after all. And I kind of agree with Whitney because I've had past relationships. I've broken up with all of my boyfriends, and I feel so bad for saying that because, like, it's hard to find someone that is willing to grow with you at every stage in your life. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? And that's why, like, I know a lot of people stay in relationships because they're comfortable or like they don't think they can find anyone better. But the truth is there is always going to be someone better out there. You just have to have faith. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, I'm kind of like 50-50. I'm still
Hmm.
trying to figure myself out. I got to get my own shit together before like I can even handle that um commitment. Um but it's like I'm going to see where it goes. I'm not saying completely no or completely yes either.
Hmm.
I'm just going to follow what my gut tells me and yeah, see where it takes me from there. So I'm like I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah.
You
That's
say go ahead.
Oh, I
Go
just
ahead.
want
Go
to
ahead.
say that's kind of where I was saying, like, if you asked me this question 5 years ago, or 5 years before that, or 5 years before that, I would have given you a different answer every time.
Okay.
That's
Got you.
why,
Got you.
that's why the answer is no now. Sorry.
It
No,
can
no worries. So Colleen, let me ask you, like you say you broke up with all your boyfriends in the past. What was it like? What was the reason why you broke up with them?
We just weren't on the same page anymore. Or like I would like my last boyfriend that I was with, he wasn't supportive of my career. Like me being in the music industry, meaning me wanting to have that as a career. I just found that like, you know, the relationship ran its course and it was time for me to reevaluate what I want in a partner
Hmm.
and not stay in a relationship where I felt comfortable because I find a lot of people do that. Like
Mhm.
even like people that um even people that I know, like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna stay with him or her because like we own a house together or like it's convenient for them. You know, you gotta be with someone because you love them, not because like you know, whatever their circumstances are. And I find that like you should always, you know, choose relationships based on you know, happiness and love.
But also, it's a constant thing from a man's side. Like when we meet each other, we liking each other based on like physical attraction, sex attraction, whatever. Once your relationship settle, it's
Mhm.
very important to maintain it. People change at all the time. So
Right.
if you ask me, I'm not the same when I married him. I'm totally different today. And has he ever been curious about my changes? Never.
Hmm.
That's why all of a sudden he wakes up and like, what the hell? Why are you such a bitch? Well, maybe you should have been a little bit more curious about my persona because I'm struggling not only physically, emotionally, all kinds of way. And even when I open up, like he's not really willing to be, you know, asking what's going on. Like he thinks I should be the same as the day when he married me. No, hello, I have already 2 kids. I'm a
Right.
different
You're a
person.
totally different person now.
Yes, and it's a normal thing.
My
Like
best friend's dealing with that, and it's bullshit.
yeah, and then this is what I think men don't really comprehend because they need to be constantly be curious, like what's going on. You're not gonna be the same, and it's normal thing. Yeah. I don't
So you
know.
Okay.
need a 5 year plan.
For females can be also the same thing. Like some girls just like, okay, I met him. He's a money maker. Okay, he's great, blah, blah. But he's shallow, and he's been shallow from the day one, and then he still is. And then all of a sudden she's confused. Like, what's going on? Yeah, like people. Yeah, people can show themselves different kinds of way. You need to constantly be curious about the person.
Okay.
And sometimes we just have to read between the lines, and so it's not what he or she's telling you or presenting you at the moment, but what he's not. showing you and not presenting you. So that's a lot, I guess, has to do with that. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Okay.
That's just my experience.
No, one of the things, because one of the things I've noticed is a lot of things. All you ladies said that you guys outgrew your men, right? Like you guys grew, and that became a problem. I think Winnie said that because you're always changing, you're always growing.
Nice.
And then Colleen, you said that right. Like you have dreams and goals that you want to do, so you're trying to grow and achieve that. And then the guys in your life were kind of like trying to stagnate you, hold you back. All right. So my observation of how women are in dating is, usually most women, they want a guy that's superior than her. So a guy that's ambitious, that's confident, that has a plan for his life, that he's constantly growing. So that way, it doesn't matter how much you grow, as long as he's growing and meeting you at the same level or higher, you have you have a great opportunity to be together. But oftentimes when the women outgrow their men, what I've noticed, it doesn't work out. So let me ask you, so is it safe to say that the men that you guys were dating in the past, if you guys are outgrowing them, they weren't really, like, were they ambitious men? Did they have goals and dreams? Did they have a plan? Like, were they hard workers, disciplined? Like, I'm interested to hear that, like, the type of guys that didn't work out in the past, like, were they very ambitious? Did they have goals and dreams like as you do? So was it like a matter of dating guys that didn't meet you at that same level? Winnie, go ahead.
I would say for me, I tend to like feed into a facade when I first meet someone, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is like, he has all these I wants and I'm going to's and I am's, and just a lot of times guys will tell you a bunch of shit just to get you in, and then you're like, oh cool, it's been a year and a half, like when were you gonna set up that student loan repay thing you are gonna do? When are you gonna start that business you said you were gonna start? When are you gonna do, like, a lot of guys I think will rope you in, and then you realize after, like, they're not as ambitious as they really say they were, and they're not actually they don't have the follow through. I would say that I definitely tend to just casually date guys that need like a lot of fixing up. But that's just like that's a little side thing for me. Like I don't have I do have relationships with them, but I like guys that need a lot of work typically.
So let me ask you this. So what, draw me a picture of the dream guy that you have, that you feel like that if you met that guy, this is the guy that you will naturally have no problem with. And as far as growing, as far as your goals and dreams, like paint me a picture. What's the type of guy that in your mind, okay, if I date, that's the guy I know I can date. It doesn't matter how much I grow, I know for a fact that that's the type of that guy. I won't have a problem with that guy. So paint me that, like, but what is that guy?
I mean, for me, that guy is going to have to be somebody who is interested in things like real stuff. Like, obviously, he's going to have financial stability and goals.
But what level? Like financial stability, what kind of level are you talking about? Is it like 5%, top 10%? Is it 1%?
I have no fucking clue. I want him to make $200,000 plus a year. Like, I just want to I live in Southern California. Like, right. I want to be comfortable. So
200K and above. That's the type of man you're looking for.
Like, I'm sure. Yeah. Like 150, 200K, like make good money, do well for yourself. But that's not about the money. I'm really more interested in somebody who's going to like want to build traditions with me and grow with me and learn with me. And like, come to my book club and like actually give a fuck about my family and our extended group of friends and organizing things together. And just someone who's not like I don't want like a couch potato. It's so hard to say who my ideal man is. It's like, I want someone who I can.
If the guy's making 200,000, he's not a couch potato. If the guy's making 200,000.
Right. No, 100%. I'm like, but he could be like sitting at a desk all day too. Like, I just want someone who has their shit together, but also has an interest in life. And it's not just like video games and drinking at the bar. Like, it's actual life.
Oh, okay. So you want an ambitious man. So that's one thing. Like, you guys has goals. He has a dream for his life.
I mean, it's gonna sound like such a standard answer. It's one of those questions like, how do I tell you what my dream man is? Like, obviously check the fucking boxes. Like, I want him to have good sex with me. I want him to I want him to like my stupid games and meet my family and enjoy those people and build these relationships with us. But it's really, the most important thing is I just want someone who can communicate with me. And I think that really that's all it comes down to. Like, the money is not the issue. I want communication.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree too.
Yeah.
Communication is so important because
Yeah.
I find like that is like the foundation towards
For
building a
anything.
good, healthy relationship. Yeah, I agree
What do
with you.
you,
On
what do you
that
think
one.
is what do you think is more important? Financial stability or communication? If you had to pick.
Communication, because financial
Communication.
stability, especially since I plan on being completely and totally independent, like to the point that I could support someone else. If he is falling on hard times, like I can lift him up. Like, that's not the issue. I don't want the money to be the issue. It would be nice if he had his shit together and had some though.
I mean, do you are you attracted? I mean, do you have a problem with them if you're financially the one taking responsibility for all the finances? You have a problem with that? If you don't, if he's
No, I
not,
mean, I grew up in a household where my mom was the breadwinner. She worked in the operating room and my dad kind of like dicked around most of the time. So like he had a job, but it was not like any level of financial input as her. So no, that wouldn't be an issue. But again, like, I'm not looking for a very traditional relationship in my long term. So whoever I date is probably going to be established, and we're going to be both established separately and then be together.
okay, so he has to be established.
I mean, I'm
Yes, be both communication and money.
yeah.
Okay.
Choose.
Yeah, I mean, money is important. Let's be honest. Money is
But
important.
I
You
tell
know, you don't want a broke guy. You don't want a broke book.
No.
well, my husband makes good money. It's okay money. I'm not complaining, but communication is zero. So
Okay.
Right.
Well, you have a unique situation. You barely see him, so you don't. You know, that's tough. Yeah.
That is tough, but still, I mean, if he was a better communicator, it probably wouldn't be so difficult.
you can make this every now and then moment a quality time that will compensate, but those moments are like nothing.
Existent. Okay.
Ugh.
All right. So yeah, so Colleen did the same question, like what's your what's your dream guy? Like, paint a picture for me. Like, what's your dream guy? The guy that you think that, okay, if I was with this guy, I can grow as much as I can. I won't have there won't be any issue. Like what kind of guy is that?
I think like if I had to choose like one main thing, I want a guy that respects me in all aspects of my life. Someone that's respectful and supportive of me and my mental health, the career path that I want to have for myself, and someone that's also ambitious. I've dated guys that are hardworking, but now looking back at it, they weren't really goal oriented.
Yeah.
So yeah, someone that respects me. Respect is so important. And I find that in today's generation, there are a lot of guys that are nowhere near that. Maybe there are. I just haven't came across any one of them yet.
Okay. No worries. So yeah. So you want a guy that's ambitious and respects you, and then meets you at your level, and then and of course you said Christine, you're done with the marriage after this.
He's done with who knows.
All right, no worries, no worries. All right, cool. Yeah, that was my first question, ladies. So I guess I'll open up for you guys. I saw the comments. One of the guys is like, Whitney. He said that you're his dream wife.
Oh, does he
all right.
follow my Instagram? Thank you.
All right, yeah. I'll definitely drop their social links on the video. So if you want to find out, you can definitely hit her up. All right, so yeah, so let's open up for you guys. What questions and topics do you guys want to talk about and bring to the table? I'll start with you, Colleen. Go ahead. What's your question, or what is your topic that you want to bring up?
A topic that I want to bring up is cheating, just because it's so I hate to say that it's so common nowadays. So I just want to know like what you guys think regarding that topic.
About cheating? Okay.
Mhm.
I mean,
I know like
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, because I know a lot of people have like different perspectives regarding it. Like I know some people, they've gone back to their cheaters, or like people have, completely shut them out. So it's just like, I don't know. Like I want to know what you guys think.
All right,
Okay,
go ahead, Whitney.
I'm jumping in.
Go ahead, Whitney.
There's two things. I think that some level of cheating in a weird way is healthy. Hear me out. I fucked a dude for like 9 years who I'm pretty sure cheated on every one of his girlfriends with me. I don't fuck married men, not my jam. But I was like, we're in our 20s. You're going to dump this bitch in a year and a half. I don't give a fuck. So I slept with him the whole time. And I'm talking like once every 2 months. Like it was not a frequent thing. It was just like every now and then he would like hit me up and he would come over and we would do the weirdest shit always. And I really feel like he is a really decent human, a really nice person, not a piece of shit at all. And he didn't have romantic feelings for me. In fact, it was like the opposite. He wanted to do bad shit with me that he's like, I'm not going to do this with this girl. And then I think he would go home satisfied and be happy. And I think it like kept him out of trouble in a way. I think that when it comes to some men, they like need a little more than they're getting at home. And I can understand like if you're having like the occasional out of town fling or like maybe side chick situation, like with me, where I was like, you will never date me and I don't leave your girlfriends for me. Like it's not fucking happening. Like I wasn't a threat to these women. I sound like an asshole.
No, so you were the main chick, right?
It meant nothing to me and it didn't mean anything to him. It was just like really fun. And we had a weird friendship for a really long time, like years, almost a decade. But it was always just like, oh my gosh, how's your family? My family's good. Good to hear you. No. Let's bend me over and film it. Like whatever. But then he would go home and be normal with his chick. But I'm saying I have friends whose husbands, they travel for a living and they're like, yeah, if they hook up when they're on business, like fine, don't bring me home an STD. Don't bring me home a girl. Don't bring me home a baby. Like do what you need to do. But like, let's keep our marriage happy. And if you need to step out, like that's fine. But there's a difference between those kinds of situations and people who have emotional affairs. But there's such a slippery slope that it's like, does it work for everybody? I don't know. I don't really believe in monogamy. So my stance on cheating is it's fine. I think in certain ways.
So when the guy that was stepping out on you, was that something that you guys discussed before in your relationship, before you guys got into a relationship, or you just had to find out on your own? Like
when you do something like that, I'm like, I don't want to know about it. If you're going to go to Chicago for the week and fuck a bitch, I don't want to find any evidence and I don't want to think about it. And I don't post this person on your story. Don't
got you.
Just keep it to keep that shit totally private. And I never find out about it and it never hurt me. Like, go have fun. Love you. Like, that's it. Just leave it alone. And if that's an understanding, then that's cool. And like, I think that a lot of times when you establish something like that, people don't, it's more the fact of having the option than actually using it, because you may not even want to. Like my ex and I had that going, and I think that he used it once and I used it once in 5 years. And we both traveled often, and like we discussed it years after our breakup. And it kind of came up and I was like, oh, but I was like, it was more knowing we could was like good enough for us.
Okay. All right. Did he, so he did it, but did he have a problem with you doing it?
It doesn't matter. We were broken up when I told him.
Oh, okay. That's it. All right. So that's your thought. So for you, as long as you, if you're in a relationship with a man, as long as you're the main chick, he doesn't tell you about it, you don't find out about it.
Yeah.
He just does what he does. And he's not emotionally attached to this woman. It's just a fling, just sex. As long as he's focused on you and giving his emotional commitment to you, you're fine.
Yes.
Okay. All right. No worries. All right. Okay. Christine, what's your thoughts on cheating?
I just think cheating is not that it's not important and doesn't matter. It matters, but overall, I think cheating is really it's something that is like a final thing. It's not the causing of the problem. It's what you get afterwards. If someone already cheated, obviously you had problems before, and cheating is just something, kind of like finalizing.
True that.
And it's kind of like a conclusion to whatever is going on. So I don't.
So I mean, like, for you, are you against cheating? Or are you for cheating during a relationship?
Yeah,
Like, what's your stand?
Yeah, I don't think cheating is okay, but I also wouldn't be surprised if, like, tomorrow I find out that my husband's cheating on me in this situation. I mean, it would be really stupid of me to be surprised. Like, oh my God, I'll be like hurt and like be crying. No, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I mean,
just because I don't see it, that doesn't mean anything. Like, I am hurt regardless him cheating or not cheating. If he's cheating, oh well, like I wouldn't be surprised. Like, of course.
Okay.
Can
All
I
right,
say, I just
Go
want to say, I'm talking in terms of dating and not marriage. But I don't plan on being married because I don't think it's possible. Like, I don't think you can really do it without cheating. That's all.
I mean, okay. You don't okay. You don't think dating? Well, I mean, well, dating. I'm talking. You're talking about like a commit. If you're dating a
I'm
committed
saying if you're in a
relationship,
committed relationship with somebody and like you guys have like if they do what they do on the side, that's like totally separate from you, whatever. But I'm just saying I'm not married, so I'm not speaking on the behalf of married people or my thoughts on what a marriage should be. I'm just talking what I think a relationship should be.
So if you go in a committed relationship with somebody, do you lay those terms out? Like, hey, like do you discuss it first before you go into it?
Yeah, and that not every person I've dated feels the same way. And for me, I don't need that. When I'm with someone, I don't need I don't need the opportunity to step out. But like if that is something they need, I'm the type of person who's willing to give that to them.
Okay, all right.
But I could also do the opposite, which is, or do the latter of like not having that as an option.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And so Christine, you're totally, if you're in a relationship, the man, if a man cheats, are you immediately done, Christine?
Well, no. If you ask me, can I forgive cheating? Yeah.
Okay.
If things change, I need, all I'm looking for is honest commitment from the person and realization, like if he is actually sorry, and I'll be able to see it. Like, you can't fool me.
Okay. All right. But do you have a tolerance? Like, okay.
Yeah, I'm very logical in a lot of ways. Like, if you make sense and you explain yourself and things make sense to me, I can get over it because I'm not very emotionally responsive a lot of times. I'm like,
no. What I'm saying is, like, if the guy keeps repeating, I mean, he explains it, you forgive him, he explains it, forgive him, he keeps repeating it. Is there, like, do you have like a tolerance where enough is enough if it keeps happening?
Yeah. Like, if he's going to be repeating, obviously he's not like sorry or anything. Yeah, bye.
Okay, on to the next. All right, okay. And then all right, and then Colleen, like, what's your thoughts on cheating?
I don't support cheating, but like I want to respect like all of your guys' opinions as well, because like every situation, every relationship is unique in its own way. And like what Christine was mentioning, like if your husband was cheating right now, you wouldn't be like surprised, right? So I can understand where you're coming from, but in terms of like dating and marriage, since we discussed both of those topics, I am not for cheating. Because I just think, like, in my opinion, if that person really loves you, like, why would they put themselves in a position to lose you in the first place? Right?
Yeah.
That's just the way I think of it, though. Because if someone genuinely like respects you, loves you, wants to make the effort to like make it work with you, why would they even think for a minute, oh, I'm gonna go with this girl or this guy? Why would you want to lose something that's so amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for you, if you get cheated on, is it done automatically?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I can agree with Christine. Like I can forgive the person because like I understand forgiveness is important in life in general, and forgiveness is important for your healing as well too. But I wouldn't take the person back. No, I wouldn't.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's like just listen to everybody. I mean, my thoughts on cheating is, I mean, for me, like if you're making a commitment to somebody to be in a monogamous relationship, of course, that's you shouldn't, cheating is not that's something you shouldn't cheat on your partner if that's both the agreement and expectation of being in a relationship, right? Um, but but the reality is there are guys out there that are cheating, right? And I'm gonna say something that I do agree with Whitney. I would agree with Whitney was, for the difference between how men and women see sex, right? So and see cheating. So for guys, the difference between men and women is like for guys, we don't have to get emotionally connected with a woman to have sex. For guys, sex is purely physical. Um, unless you meet
Most
the
of
woman,
the time.
yeah, most of the time, unless you meet the woman you love, you fall in love with, you want to marry and committed. But for men, sex is purely physical, right? And sometimes, especially the men who have a lot of money, a lot of higher in the socioeconomic status in society, they attract a lot of women. I'm not condoning it, but I'm saying sometimes they have sex with other women, but it's purely physical. But a man could cheat in your terms, but still love his wife at home, right? But one thing I do know for women is different. You guys have to be emotionally connected with a man or emotionally invested into a man
No, we
before you
don't.
got. I mean, I'm saying, well, I'm just saying, I'm saying majority. I'm not saying you're
I
the
know.
exception, but for the average woman, you can't just meet a random guy and just have sex with them. A men can. Men can meet a random woman in a club and just have sex immediately. But for women, you guys have to emotionally invest. So for me, that's why I always say is for when a woman cheats, the relationship is over. If a woman cheats on a man, she's already talked to this guy. She already got to know the guy already. They've been communicating. They've been emotionally invested to the guy. So when a woman cheats, the relationship is over. But for men, for some of us, a man could cheat. A man could cheat and still love his wife, 100% still love his wife, and still take care of her and take care of his kids. What I'm saying is, I'm not. But like I said, if you're in a monogamous relationship, that's the agreement between you and your woman. Yeah, of course you shouldn't cheat. But I do see a lot of girls. They're in the dating stage. They're not in a committed relationship. It's not official, and they do complain about like, oh, if their man is cheating. But I always tell ladies, a guy could cheat on you but still love you as long as if he's still taking care of you financially, paying for your bills, still doing all the things he's always doing. That means he still loves you. It's just he's just stepped out. Like when he just stepped out for a little bit and came back. But if a woman cheats on you, yeah, it's over.
I
It's
don't
over.
think that's true, but like I don't think if I was in a relationship and then like for instance, there is a man. I call him the Italian. I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't care if right now I'm married. Well, that's not true. I'm not going to get married. So I don't know why I'm putting myself in this box. If I was in a committed relationship with someone else right now and the Italian hit me up, I would go and take my night of pleasure. I would go and I would do that. And then I would come back to my person and feel like my vagina's stoked. It's just a good fucking time. And I know it's a good fucking time. It's a good time.
Yeah.
That's it.
No.
am saying you're saying women can't do it, but men can, and I disagree.
Well, no, I'm saying that the average woman, right? I'm saying like a majority. I'm not saying there's always exceptions. I'm just saying for the average woman, she couldn't just meet a guy, random guy, and then have sex with him immediately. That very same day, that very same moment.
Can I say that the average man can't either? And you're totally putting us in a box. You know how many dudes I've tried to fuck on the first date that pussied out on me? A billion. That's gross. Not that many, but a lot of men are also need an emotional attachment. And a lot of men also need more than one night with somebody to have a sexual connection with them. So I think you're generalizing a little bit.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, those they said you met guys that you try to have sex with them. Did you tell them directly to their face, like, I want to have sex with you?
I met them on the pretense that I was going to take them home to my house. Yeah. Yes. 100%.
So you verbally communicate that to those guys. Like, hey, we're going to have sex after this night.
The point is meet for a drink. If we're interested, we would like go and have sex after.
Okay, I mean, but you told him, right? You told him, hey, after this drink, we're gonna have sex after this.
Yeah, I mean, not like so weirdly. It was like I'd just be like that. The point of the date is to possibly have sex, but then like you get them on the date and they tend to kind of pussy out a little bit and get kind of nervous. And maybe I'm intimidating. I'm not sure, but I'm just saying like not all dudes are like DTF.
What I'm
First night.
saying is if you're an attractive woman and you go up to a guy, if you go on a date, you know, like we as men, we're trying to figure out like if you want to have sex. I mean, we don't really know, right? We don't really know. We can't read your
I
mind.
make it quite clear.
Well, even signs, but you know, but still.
Are you like that, Will? Will you go? Will you go? Are you like this?
Will I go?
Yeah. Like
Yeah, if I meet a girl that if I meet a girl I really like, yeah, of course it's going down. Yeah. If I like you, if I like you, I'm gonna. If you give me the opportunity, but the thing is, for guys, like, let's be honest, most women, I'm not gonna go up to a guy like, hey, after this drink, we're gonna have sex. No, because guys, we have to figure that out on our own. And like I said, for someone, it's not really a clear message for someone because sometimes you give us signals, but we don't really know. We don't really know. But I'm telling you what I'm saying is, if you go up to a guy and say, hey, I want to have sex with you, and you're a very attractive woman,
right,
99% of the time, the guy will say yes. If you make it clear, hey, I want to have sex with you. But like I said, no woman is doing that. No woman's going up to guys or even in dates. Hey, it's up to. Do you want us to figure that out? You have to give up signals, and then we have to be in a date. Okay, does she want to have sex? Does she not? Does she feel me? Like,
you've been in the wrong market.
Apparently, I need to move to where are you living at? Because where I live, this is like all the people I know are as ridiculous as I am. So I feel like my options would be increased if I went where you are, because all these guys are standing around waiting for women to walk up to them and take them home.
I'm just what I'm saying is, like, you know, for guys, like if you're the type of girl that he wants to have sex with, and you tell him that, hey, I want to have sex with you.
I don't say just, hey, I want to have sex with you. Yeah, but I have like this much finesse. Give me a little credit, but okay.
Oh no, but that's all. I was just responding to your point where, like, you were saying, like, guys won't do it. No, what I'm saying is, if you're the type of woman he's attracted to, and you tell him, hey, I want to have sex with you, and it's gonna happen, and there's a guarantee from you, he's gonna do it.
No, but that's what I'm saying is that's not. I don't think that's true. I have gotten them all the way to my house, gotten them in my bed, gotten them naked, and then they're like, no, I'm freaked out. Like,
what did they say? What did they? So you got. So what did they say when you got naked? What did they? What did they say?
They like feel like it's. I mean, I definitely go for younger guys, but it's. They feel emotional, is what it is.
Where'd you meet this man? I'm just curious.
In bars.
So you met them at these guys at the bars, and you took them home, and you got naked, and they still didn't want to have sex with you.
No. Okay. First of all, that you make that sound so terrible. No, I'm saying that they feel like we can hook up to a certain degree, but emotionally they're not ready to have sex on the first date is what the whole point of this was. I'm saying not every guy is trying to fuck on the first date. Like you think,
yeah. Well, I'm just saying,
oh, women can't just have sex for pleasure. They need an emotional attachment. And I'm saying, I don't think that men all just have sex for pleasure, because they also a lot of times need an emotional attachment. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
way out of hand.
No. When I say all men, right? I'm not saying all men. I'm saying in general. I'm just saying majority.
Okay. And like, I'm saying, like, as someone who hooks up a lot with people safely and consensually, I find that men are very emotional, similarly to women. That's what I'm saying from my experience.
Okay. Well, all I'm saying is men are more likely to have sex with a random stranger on the first night they meet them more than a woman would have sex with a random stranger on the first night they meet them. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying the likelihood of a man having sex with a random woman he just met on the same day.
Right. But I think that those statistics are changing. Those statistics are changing right now, because like these new kids, like Colleen's peers have a little bit of a different view on sex than versus mine. I think if you were to go to a man ages 32 to 37 and it would be like, yes, we're smashing in this bathroom right now. Like, and I don't need to talk to you for the rest of the night. But if you go to someone in her age group, which is the men that I fuck,
Yeah.
They are way more emotional and they're not down for this one night stand stuff. It's a different group.
Okay.
Yeah, I
No,
feel like
no.
times are changing with
100%.
that. I
Like,
agree with you on that one too.
like Colleen, would you be able to have sex with the guy you just met on the very first day?
No.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
like I want to have that connection first before,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
reveal myself. So yeah.
See, it's the same thing. Like, could you have sex with a guy when you met on the very first day?
I say no, but when you walk around sexually frustrated for a long time, who knows? That's why I try to stay home. My suburban area, trying to control it.
Yeah. No, like I totally agree. Like there's exceptions, but
But I know.
but I'm just saying like the likelihood of women having sex with a random, but for guys, that it's because the difference between us. But that's a good comment. So all right. So that was thank you for Colleen for bringing up that question. And thank you for the open discourse, Whitney.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, that's good. That's what makes it fun. We have discussions like this. That's what makes it fun. So speaking of Whitney, what's your question, your topic that you want to talk about?
I mean, mine is about monogamy and just like kind of what the views on people's like, how do you guys think monogamy is possible, like in the long term?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't really think that it is.
Okay. Why do you think monogamy? Why do you think monogamy is like? I mean, of course, there are people today that are in monogamous and long-term relationships and never cheated, and they're happily ever after. But let me ask you, why do you think it's not possible, even though it does exist?
I mean, it kind of goes back to what I had said earlier about how every couple of years I feel like I'm a very different person and I have very different opinions on things. I wanted things for my life 5 years ago that I don't want now, and even more so 10 years ago. And some of those things are really, it's good that I don't want them anymore. But I just don't know if I could be with one person forever because I don't know. I see shiny things and I want them.
Okay. Oh, I mean, for you, you don't believe in monogamy, but
I don't, but I'm curious about everyone else.
Okay, cool. All right. So, Christine, what's your thoughts about monogamy?
I don't know.
You still believe in it? You still believe in it?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'll be short on this.
All right. Colleen, what about you? Monogamy.
I feel like I have like mixed perspectives on monogamous relationships because like I understand both perspectives, like where Whitney's coming from and where Christine's coming from too. Yes, it's possible because there's so many monogamous relationships out there, but because like we're human and we're constantly changing, we're constantly growing, it's hard to find one person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life. That's why there's so many marriages that end. Like my parents got divorced when I was 18. Right. So when Christine was talking about her marriage life, I can understand where she's coming from because like my parents went through something similar. And yeah, it's hard to find one person that is down to constantly learn and grow with you. So that's my thoughts on that.
So, William, let me ask you, because I know you said that, the scenario in your mind, the way you see your life going because of how you are, you're probably going to have a different relationship like every, in your 40s, in your 50s, in your 60s. That's what you said, right?
I'd like to.
Yeah. But let me ask you, like, don't you think that that's kind of like, that's more stressful to be in a changing relationships? Because, relationships, and, you're investing a lot of your emotions, of who you are into somebody. So it's like, it's a big investment. And to keep doing that, every 10 years, because you get intimate, you tell them your deepest desires and secrets, they know everything about you. You learn everything about each other. To do that for 10 years and then stop it and then to start all over again and try to disregard all those emotions you felt with this partner to restart again with this partner. I mean, for me, that's very, very hard. Wouldn't it be better just to be with one person like forever if you happen to meet that person?
You're starting a relationship looking for forever, and I'm starting a relationship looking for right now. I'm not, there's a difference of what you're saying it's very stressful, but that's because you put the stress on the relationship that it has to last forever. I'm not putting that strain on any of my relationships. So I don't feel stressed out by them because I'm not like, you have to be with me forever. I told you everything. I tell the fucking internet everything. Everyone knows everything. Like there's no secrets here.
Okay, so like do you think there's men out there that would want to be in that type of relationship, with just, I'm only going to be with you for like 8-10 years and then I want to find somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, if it lasts for 20 years, that's dope. But like, I'm realistic in the sense that I go into my relationships just assuming that there's an end point. I'm not going to go into a relationship with being like, we have to be together and make this work forever. I'm willing to make something work for an amount of time, but then there's always a place where I'm like, okay, I've given more of myself than I'm willing to, like, I don't want to lose who I am or whatever reason it is that I don't feel like fighting for it anymore. But I think definitely there's someone out there who would be like, cool, I'm down to do this. Do you know how many divorced men there are?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
of course. I'm gonna be just fine, honey.
No, how many, let me ask, how many have you met, like how many men have you met where like they're totally on board to have that type of relationship? You know what, I don't only want to do like 8-10 years and then like how many men have you met like that?
I'm not even starting that project till I'm like 44 and we're at 37. I'm trying to stay single until my mid 40s right now.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just curious.
We haven't even started.
No, I know that's what you want from me. I'm just very curious, like, do people I mean, like, I'm pretty sure there's a guy out there, like, that wants to do it, but is there somebody out there that really wants to have that type of relationship? That's all I'm asking. Like, I just can't see it.
It's more of a that's how I picture it going. Then my expectations, that I don't have a lot of expectations. My expectations are for myself. They're not for my other people or what other people are going to bring to my life. I'm assuming with the way I've grown as a person, I'm like, I'm probably just going to have a few long-term relationships and not get married. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the general statement. And if I had to guess when I would start those long-term relationships, it would be in my 40s. That's it.
No, that's it. No, for me, I'm just like, because for me, it's just like, in reality, right? Like, that's why you want, and it's just great. For me, it's just like, I've never met, I just don't know a lot of people that wants to restart it like the way you do. And if there's somebody out there, great. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know a lot of people like that. Most people I know that prefer
have a better market for herself than me or Colin. I tell you, yeah, she's gonna have more options.
Yeah, that's all
options.
I mean, there's a guy. If you're watching this right now, and that's you. Let us know.
I have plenty of those type of guys on my TikTok followers.
Oh, you're on TikTok still? They deleted me this week. I'm pretty sad.
All right, so ladies, one thing I do on my show is I always allow the audience to participate. So I always so there is some people that want to jump on. They have some questions for you guys. There's some people that's watching right now, and then somebody wants to jump on real quick. So I'm gonna give them some time to jump on, and they can they've been listening to what a lot of you guys said, and so I want to give them the opportunity to share their thoughts with you guys. So thank you so much for joining on. Like I always say, if anybody wants to jump on this call and talk to these guests, my only rule is respect the guests, respect me, respect the host. As long as you do that, you're good. If you disrespect us, the guest, the host, or this platform, I'm going to kick you out. But yeah, a lot of you guys support my channel and you guys want to be part of this convo. So there is somebody that wants to jump on real quick and talk to you guys about a lot of the things you guys said. So his name is Fatafehi. I'm about to add you on right now real quick. So he's going to jump on right now, and he's going to share his thoughts, a lot of the things we discussed on this platform real quick. So I'm going to have him jump on real quick. So he's joining on, adding on you on right now. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey. Yeah,
hey,
hello.
What's up? Where you coming? Where you from? These ladies want to know. Where you turning in from?
So I'm tuning in from New Zealand. So
all the way from New Zealand. All
the way from New Zealand. So yeah, quite an interesting subject that you guys are going into tonight.
What's your question? What's your thoughts and what's your question?
I guess my first question is, would be how many of the ladies or anyone watching in are differentiating between dating and getting into a relationship, in a sense. Going back to the whole, cheating sort of scenario, and what Whitney sort of was gone into, I feel like that her experience is what I consider as dating. It's not so much a committed relationship. I always think of dating as a sort of training ground, especially for young men, to establish their values, the tolerance of compromise they'll take onto a relationship. Whereas relationship is when you decide to commit. Me and my partner have been sort of together for 6 years, but prior to that we were dating, and we saw each other on the weekend. I'd go and concentrate on my career and get into sexual relations with different other people. But when we were together, it was between us, until I said, hey, you bring a lot of value, even though it's just encounters, but you bring a lot of value and strength that I think would support me in a relationship. And why don't we get into a serious relationship other than just fucking on the weekend and that sort of lifestyle. In that sort of situation, I don't condone cheating, but in terms of dating, do whatever you want. We're allowed to live our lives as we do. That bit of a spiel from my end.
All right, no worries. Ladies, what do you think about his what he just said right now? I start with you, Colleen. What do you think? I saw you thinking in your face. I saw something was the light bulb go off.
You can come back to me because I'm still thinking.
Okay, you're still internalizing your thoughts. Okay, Christine, what's your thoughts on what he said?
I'm not sure if I understood the whole thing.
I think the big thing about what Winnie was saying, she dates younger guys. I'm still under my 30s, and I'm on the same mindset as she is. If we're dating. We're not in a relationship. Like, we don't have to look at 10 years from now. We can just satisfy, what we want right now. Whereas I think a lot of people confuse dating and relationship as one thing. Like, if I'm going out on a date with you, that automatically means that we're in a relationship. Like, that to me, it's no. Like, I'm trying to establish my values here.
Can I go ahead with my topic right here?
Go ahead. What's your topic?
Because I was gonna talk about the men commitment. This is, I think, is gonna fit in here. So a lot of the times, I know when you date someone, you liking each other, and guys like girls, but then like they go on the perfect dates and then they kind of disappear. There is no reason. They tell you, oh, I like you, blah, 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 blah. You feel yourself also, he liked me. We have potential going on. And then he disappears on you. Those type of guys not ever going to take any commitment in relationship. And this is that type of guy I end up with. My husband is like that. He is one of those guys that are hard to get for girls. So, and then I didn't know that because I never dated him for a long time, but he ended up being my husband. So now those type of people change then, because they like, it's like claustrophobia. They don't like to be trapped. They don't like to be putting any commitments. And once they're in a marriage, it's horrible, because then all of a sudden things that he used to like about me, things that he used to say, oh, you this and that, and all of a sudden things change completely. Like all of the stuff that I'm doing is wrong, from like the way he behaves on public, the way sex is always less, and then he sets up the boundaries, and like he will always find all kinds of excuses or hobbies to leave the house. So I think this is like the topic I was also gonna talk about, the commitments, about the guys. Some of the people, just guys, and I guess girls too, but I'm just gonna talk about guys.
Can I tune in on this one? This is very interesting, because I think the biggest thing that I've noticed with a lot of people, especially couples, they allow the honeymoon phase to go way too long into the relationship, especially committed one. I went into my relationship with my partner knowing that honeymoon phases kill long-term relationship, in the sense that you work through this phase where you're doing all the right things, you're saying all the right things, you're trying to hide all your bad traits or characteristics that you possess. And once you get into the relationship, it's like, okay, I'm safe now. Like, I can be who I am. And that in-between phase before is like the honeymoon phase. I think it's completely garbage. Be who you are, enjoy the sex. If it turns into a relationship, improve on that. Going into a relationship, to me, should be based on growth mindset. You should grow together. Like, you may like missionary 5 years into the relationship, and then you wake up one morning and completely hate it. Like, communicate with your partner. What makes you tick? Is the sex still good? Are we talking regularly? Like, what can I do to empower you?
And then eventually it gets to this point where I'm at today, when things, whatever I do is wrong, and then life is miserable. So now he has an excuse to say that I'm such a bitch, and then he's ready for divorce. Yeah.
Divorce him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, is it worth it? Do you have kids with him?
Yes, we do have kids. So I'm not really sure if I understand your situation. Like, are you committed to your relationship? Is that what?
Yeah, 100%. But I talk to my partner like every now and then, maybe a couple of months. I sit down with her and go, do you still enjoy our sex? What? Because I think sex is a big part of it too. Like, if you have good, if you have good sex in your relationship, that goes a long way. And if you're openly communicating about that part of your relationship, everything else comes easy. And I check in on my partner often than not. Like, do you still enjoy the sex? Are you finding it boring? Should we do something else? That sort of thing.
So you're saying she's not committed to this relationship as much?
No, she's committed. She's committed. I just pushed the subject because especially for us islanders, it's a very taboo subject.
Yeah.
But to me, it doesn't benefit me to keep my cultural taboo as a basis of how I should communicate with my partner.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say that just the way you discussed when you went from the dating phase to the relationship phase with your partner, how you said, I feel like you're bringing a lot of value to my life, and you wanted to move things forward. Just that alone, I feel like I've never heard a guy in America say that. So that was really well said.
Yeah,
I think
that's how
it's
it should
because
be, but I think your culture is not, keep your cultural taboos, because you guys aren't fucking it up. That's good.
This is actually exactly what I want from my husband. Wanted.
Yeah.
This is how it should be, how relationships should be progressing. And the marriage and the wedding itself is just a small fraction. Commitment is what's most important in the marriage, more than the wedding or anything else. Yeah.
But the one thing I would say when it comes to value, right? Like, that's a great point you guys just said. Value only works if both partners are getting what they value. So a lot of times he may bring you value. He's bringing value, but you may not bring the same type of value that he wants. So sometimes that's what I've seen is like, you want your partner to bring you value, but the thing is like, what do you bring to the table that he values as well? And if you're not both bringing value to each other, then there's a problem. Because if you both bring value to each other, if you're both growing like what Daniela said, right? If you're both growing and you're both bringing value to each other, so if there's a disconnect, like you said, Christine, like, he's not putting in the effort, because we all know that if you're committed to somebody, you're going to put in the effort and you're going to find a way to bring value to, because you want to make it work. Yeah. So if he doesn't want to put in the effort, if he's just not committed, then
that's one thing, does the other thing. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like maybe
work it out, but then on his actions, it's a completely different story.
All I'm saying is, I'm just saying is if he's not putting in the commitment, if he doesn't want to make it work, he's already out the door. Then all I'm just saying is like, maybe the value you're bringing him is not something that he's either wants or, and that's a discussion that you guys have to make, because like he said it best. He talks to his wife, right? He talks to his wife. Hey, what am I bringing value? Are you still happy? Am I doing the things that you?
He's going to find out more of me from this public video today. I tell
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
No, because sometimes I do hear people like, yeah, this person, the relationship's not working out, but they've never like had the self-awareness to look within themselves, and like, am I still bringing value to this person? I know he doesn't love me no more, but have you ever thought about that? Like, are you still bringing the value that he wants? And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and the other thing too, it's love is not enough to take your relationship long term. Like,
yeah,
just feeling in love and being in love is not enough. It requires tremendous amount of work. It needs two people to make it work. And I think that's why it's really important to date first before getting into a relationship. So you can establish your, the values and the level of tolerance you're going to put in terms of compromising. You should compromise in a way where you both walk away with equal standing, not one holding, power over the other one. And Whitney's, lifestyle is exactly what you should do going into date. Fart in front of each other or, talk shit to their face. I
didn't say I farted.
No, but I mean, like, there has to be a gauge on what you need to compromise with the other person to make it work long term. And getting over that honeymoon phase in the dating scene will benefit you in the long term. Then you get to decide, oh, this guy, when he gets mad, he just blurps out, blah, blah, blah. I don't like that. Maybe we're not meant to be together. It's very important, for me anyway. You should date to set those tolerance and what you should compromise with. The way I met my partner 7 years ago is the way I am now, with some improvements. But the core fundamental that I have and the core belief that I have are still the same. She still tells me you're the same asshole that I met 7 years ago, and I'm not changing. Unless it's hurting the relationship, I'm not changing. It's who I am. I'm not hiding who I am from you. And I created that environment for you to be comfortable who you are. Therefore, I gauge the value that you brought. I compromise with certain things that I didn't like about you, but overall, the good outweigh the bad.
Okay, no worries. All right, ladies, do you have any responses or things you want to respond to our special guest that jumped on tonight?
Honestly, all I have to say was that was like wonderful to hear, and I'm so happy for you. What was your name again? Face. Sorry, I don't want to butcher your name, but
no, that's all right.
I'm happy that you found your person and that you guys are making it work. And I really liked how you mentioned earlier before that you often check in, because that's really important in a relationship, because like sometimes people aren't always comfortable being vulnerable, right? So it's really important to check in with your partner, because they might not always feel comfortable with communicating certain things, but it's the fact that you ask shows that you care. And yeah, I like how you mentioned that.
I'm surprised.
I mean, we men thrive on sex, so it benefits me more to make sure that it's good both ways. Because if it's good, it carries on long term. So
there's a higher probability we'll stay around.
Yeah.
All right, man, Daniela, man, thank you for always jumping on, man, being part of this.
No worries.
You're always
thank you
welcome.
For having me.
You're always welcome, man. You're always welcome. All right, man. Have a good day, man. Have a good day,
Yeah,
Daniela.
you too.
All right, stay blessed. All right. Yeah, he's a guy that one of good followers, always watches the show. Much love to you, Daniela. Thank you so much for always jumping in and sharing your thoughts. So, okay, who asked the last question? I just lost my train of thoughts. Who was the last person to ask the question? Was that you, Christine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so yeah. Ladies, I guess Mike will come back around to me. So my question to you guys, commitment, right? So if I know Winnie, you're not looking for monogamous committed relationships. I respect that. So my question is, like, if you wanted to be in a committed relationship with one man, like, what is it like? Well, what does commitment mean to you? Like, what do you like? Because everybody throws that word around nowadays. That word has lost that meaning in modern times. But when you say commitment and you want to be committed to one person, what does that mean to you? And I'm interested to hear your thoughts on like what is commitment to mean to you to be with one person. Like what kind of things you have to do, what kind of values you have to have, what kind of morals you have to be with somebody according to your opinion of what commitment is. I guess I'll start with you, Colleen. Like when you say commitment, well, what does that mean? What does that mean to you? Like what does commitment mean in a relationship? Somebody that does what, or is what?
I guess like to answer your question, I just want someone that, life gets really fucking hard, and I just want someone to be there throughout all of the stages that I go through in life. And I find that like in modern day dating, a lot of people tend to give up easily, or like when things get hard, like, oh, I'll just find someone else. But like if it all comes down to like if you truly want to make it work and you want to be with that person, you will make the effort to like meet them halfway.
Okay.
So,
All right. So you're saying commitment is somebody that doesn't give up easily,
yeah.
and somebody
And
that's
someone that's willing to grow with me as well.
willing to make it work and growing. Right. So growth,
Yeah.
willing to make it work, and of course, not willing to give up. Okay. Cool. So Winnie, what is if there was a ideal reality out there?
I mean, because I don't really believe in monogamy doesn't mean I don't believe in committed relationships, because I do. I think you can be committed to people for as long as that lasts, And when I am in those kinds of relationships, really, it's all about having a partner. I mean, Colleen said it right. Like life does get really hard. I know that firsthand. I've had a lot of loss in my life, and I need someone who can like back me up in those times, and be there for me. And I want to be there for them. But like, I mean, I also think that I can find that kind of support from really good friends. I'm just going to stick with my no relationship stuff.
Okay. No worries. Okay. And then Christine, like when somebody, what is commitment mean to you? Like what does the person have to do, or what does the person have to become in order to be committed to you?
Well, again, I guess I will repeat myself. Like be curious about the other person, and whatever you're doing, even if it's at times inconvenient for you, you'll just compromise it for the other person. Just be inconsiderate, like, and whatever decision you're doing along the way, just always consider the other person. That's
Okay.
think as on both of us, not just yourself.
Okay.
That.
All right, no worries. Yeah. So no, the reason why I brought that up, because that's something I always ask often on the podcast. Like, what does commitment mean to you? And a lot of times people would say, commitment is somebody that makes wants to make you happy, is communicating with you, connecting with you, is vulnerable, is emotional with you.
It's emotional, honest,
honesty,
yeah.
Right? And then all those, and of course some of the things that make it work, don't give up. But I think for me, this is my opinion about it, is like, I think for me is like commitment is like it's like responsibility, it's duty, and it's like responsibility and duty to that person. When I think Colleen said the best is like, because a lot of times when you talk about a lot of people today, one of the biggest things I hear from a lot of people, which is happiness. I want to be happy. I want to make my own money to be happy. I want to rely on myself, depend on myself. All right. But for me, it's like, if you build a relationship on happiness, I think that's a relationship doomed to fail, because you're not always going to be happy in a relationship. Like, I think Daniela was talking about the honeymoon phase, right? That after the honeymoon phase, it's going to die down, but you still have a duty and responsibility to make the relationship work, because, feelings can change. You can be happy today, and in 5 years from now, we won't be happy. Our feelings always change, but I think that's duty and responsibility must come with it. That even if you're not happy, if you find a way to make it work, and I think people who take that responsibility or put that duty on their shoulders, like, you know what, this person right here, I want to make it my duty to make it work. I want my responsibility to make it work. If I have to talk to them, be with them, connect with them, ask them questions, is the sex still good? If everything's still good, because you made a commitment. For me, it's just like when I speak to people, they never mention those words, responsibility and duty. But I think you can't be committed to somebody if you're not willing to take the responsibility, and if you're not willing to take the duty to be able to make it work. That's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, because the committed relationship in general, it's a very structural format. It's a structure, it's a discipline. So
okay, yeah. So ladies, we'll go time for one more question each. And I want you guys to give us some spicy questions. What's your spicy questions? So I want to hear your spicy questions, So don't hold back now. So I'll start with Christine. What's her one more question? Then this will be conclude the podcast.
I don't think I prepared one. I do.
I'll come back to you. Winnie, give me a nice question. Give me a nice spicy question.
I think my question's too spicy.
Go ahead.
Nope. I'm going to change the question. And I'm going to say this. Okay, this is like a little bit of a flip-flop. So like I said, I recently dated someone who I thought I liked, and I was like, I'd be willing to date you for a little while. And he was cool with my OnlyFans stuff, but then like turned out he wasn't. Would anyone here date somebody who had a adult film career on the side? Just curious. That's my spicy question, which is way toned down from the other one.
Okay. All right. Christine, would you date somebody with a adult film career?
Depends in which phase I'm in. Like it's the same as if I ever would be married again, probably not. But if you ask me, 5 years ago, I'd probably say, of course. It's the same thing. It depends where I'm at. If I'm lacking someone from this industry and I already established my family, which I already did, obviously, and let's say I'm divorced tomorrow, it's only for me. Hell yes, I say yes. It really depends.
Good answer.
Just for me, yes. I'm enjoying person. Yes, I say yes. I don't really care.
Okay, Colleen, would you?
Will it once?
All right, no worries. So, Colleen, would you same question that when you said, if you met a guy that you liked, but you found out that he was in the adult film industry, would you date him? Or would you be willing to go in a relationship with him?
Probably not. Just because it really depends on in order to build a good relationship, it all comes down to having matching values, and morals and values. Yeah, probably not. Because I'm so heavily focused on my music grind. I would want to date someone within my field just because I think it would be easier and they would understand what I'm going through.
Okay, no worries.
And plus, probably she will have to have kids one day, right? And you're thinking that way also, right?
I mean, maybe. Sometimes, honestly, guys, I do think about getting married and having kids, but then another part of me is I don't know, because kids are a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work. You're raising a whole other human being. That's a lot of work. You're responsible for that kid for the rest of your life. And I don't know if I can see myself doing that. No. I gotta commit to myself first before I can commit to anybody else.
Okay. All right. What if he's not active? He's not active. That was what he did in the past, but he's no longer doing that no more. Would you still be in a relationship with him? Give him a chance, Colleen?
Honestly, I don't know. That depends. I feel like it depends on how much he's willing to be open and honest about everything in his past and how much he's grown as a person and change. I'm open-minded, but I want to be also cautious as well, No
worries. All right, so Winnie, so your question is, so do you find it guys as soon as they find out that you're OnlyFans and you do adult scenes, do you find a lot of guys that turn off like that?
No, well, I mean, typically I don't try to date anybody at all. I typically just keep my relationships casual. I film with a couple guys regularly. Like I just like them. They're cool. We hang out, they leave, it's fine. But this guy liked me and was like, I want to date you. And I was like, I don't date. And then he kind of talked me into dating him and then realized a couple weeks into it, like, oh, maybe I was wrong about my coolness with what you do. Cause I was like, bro, you cannot fucking deal with this. I promise you. Cause I was like, if you date me, that means you're my stunt dick for like the rest of my videos going forward. I'm like, you're getting a career along with a girlfriend. I don't know if I want to do that. So I would say normally I don't even look to, I'm not even trying to date people. So it doesn't matter.
But you know why?
Curious.
I would say, you know why guys find it hard to date women who are in the adult industry, right? You know why, right?
I mean, I would assume that they would have like a complex on whether or not, just like the experience level of someone versus them and like other partners and, just like being unsure of their capabilities in the bedroom, I would assume would be probably a huge issue.
No. I mean, there's studies on this, but it's like for men, like one of the things that we value in a woman is her sexuality. That's something that. So we've all heard the body count, right? Like a lot of guys, most guys, they prefer a woman with a lower body count. They don't want a woman with a higher body count. And
right.
That's something that for most guys, a woman's sexuality is important. If a guy wants to be with a woman, like he prefers not to be with a woman that's shared with other men, because for men we're very territorial when it comes to the woman we want to date and eventually be committed and marry. Like it's just a feeling within us, like we just don't like knowing that our woman is being shared with the other men.
Right.
So that's why you're not the only one. I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts where they have porn stars and they come on the podcast and they talk about the same challenges they go through with their own dating life. It's really, really hard for the women to find a guy they like that's going to take them seriously. And
right.
it's just for guys, like, and also the fact that a lot of guys have to fear, if a woman has multiple sexual partners, then like he's afraid of the paternity. Like, okay, how do I know it's my child if he wants to have kids? So
right.
those like like what are your thoughts about that? Is that the
thing? My thoughts?
Yeah.
I mean, I hear that, and the body count thing I think is for a certain age group. Again, like I think that there's a range of men who the younger men want the women with like a high body count because they want the experience, but they know they're not in it for any kind of commitment. Then there's a whole age range where guys are like low body count, looking for a wife. And then there's this divorcees who are like, let's fuck, don't care about anything. You know what I mean? Like I can find what I need because it's all out there. There's some people who want this like low body count, perfect virgin, have at it. I'm not your girl.
Yeah.
But I think there's plenty of men out there who are like, I don't give a shit about your past. Your past is yours. Do you have herpes and AIDS? No. Okay, we're good. Like, I don't think it matters to a lot of people.
I think for the 20s, for a lot of guys in the 20s, we're just trying to, that's our youth. So we're just trying to have sex.
Right.
But when a man wants to settle down, that's when he starts worrying about that. Once starts worrying about.
But I'm not looking for my husband and father of my children. So.
Yeah. No. I was just saying, like, that's why.
No, I feel no ways about that. I don't give a shit.
That's good. That's good. That's why you're winning.
I'm here.
For sure. All right. So thank you for that spicy question. Yeah, that was okay. All right, Colleen, what's your spicy question?
I don't think I've prepared any spicy questions. I'm with Christine on that one. But Will, do you have any spicy questions?
Oh, I know I have one, but I'm gonna give you guys the time to talk yours, and then I'll come to mine.
I have a prepared one.
Oh, just like just finish it up. What's another question that you had? You finish up with that. Doesn't have to be spicy, but just something you want to bring up.
Spicy means it's relating to sex or what?
It's like a topic that most people don't want to talk about.
Uncomfortable kind of.
Yes.
Does the size matter?
Well, that's a question for women. Yeah. All right. I believe size doesn't matter, but what do you think, ladies? Do you think size doesn't matter? Bigger the
Yes.
better.
If you're going vaginal, I want a big one. If you're going in my butt, keep it small. So I'm saying the guys with smaller dicks have options.
Oh, so all my small dick guys are watching right now. That was for you.
We can also deep throat those ones. So, there's.
All right. What about Christine? Oh, Colleen, like, what do you think? Size doesn't matter? What do you think?
I feel like as long as you know how to work it, then you're good. Like you're confident in like what you can do, then yeah.
All right. You just
It shouldn't matter. But I feel like people make it a big deal that it should matter. But as long as you know how to work it, then yeah. Like it shouldn't be as big of a deal.
Okay, no worries. You just dry snitched on your exes. That was a joke. That was a joke. All right. Okay. Oh, let's give me one sec. All right. So, Christine, yeah, you brought up a question. What size matter for you?
I say not the size, but the like how firm it is, like, the healthiness of it. Yeah.
All right. That does matter. Okay. All right. So let me just look at the comments real quick. What are people saying? All right. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there. About value does bring fantasy and reality always. Okay. So my special question for you ladies, this is my question for you guys, is if you met the man of your dreams, right? Well, it's not really a special question, but it's a question you really have to think about. So if you met the man of your dreams, right? Would you compromise a lot of things you believe in now for that man? And if you met the guy that have everything you wanted, he understood you, he's looking for the same type of relationship. So for Whitney, that's also for you. Like if you met a guy that's willing to do everything you want to do. But we all know that people have standards and people have, everybody, there are some things that he may want you to change. And that's happened for every relationship. You have to make compromise. If you ever been in a relationship, we all know that we have to communicate to each other and be able to compromise on certain things to make it work. So all I'm saying is, I know you guys are both ambitious, you guys are confident, you guys have your own thoughts of how you want to do things. But if you met the dream guy, are you willing to compromise on certain things to make it work with him? And that's my question. And if you are willing to compromise, what are you willing to compromise? And what are things you're not going to compromise at all for no man? And that's my question. So it's a really deep question you have to think about. So, I'll start with you, Christine. If you met your dream guy, would you be willing to compromise?
Yeah.
And what are the things you're willing to compromise? And what are the things you're not willing to compromise? Or maybe you're willing to compromise everything. I don't know, but it's your answer.
Yeah, it's really easy, and it's really easy question for me. I'm willing to compromise, put 100%.
Okay, and anything. So it doesn't matter. There's nothing off limits as far as you want to compromise.
I'm open. Like I can compromise anything, actually.
So your dream guy, right? If your dream guy.
Yes, it's a big if.
All right.
I tell you that.
All right.
But I've done it once, okay? When I married my husband, I compromised a lot of things. Everything, actually. Things that I was not willing to do, I did it.
Okay.
So I did it once. I can do it again. And I'm not really scared or anything.
Okay. No worries. All right. So if you made a dream guy, you're gonna hop on that train ASAP. All right. All the dream guys out there, if you think you're the dream guy for Christine, you need to hop her in the DMs right now. All right. She's open. She's willing to jump on. All right. Colleen, if you met your dream guy, are you willing to compromise? And if you are willing to compromise, what are the things you're willing to compromise on?
I'm with Christine on that one as well. I would be willing to compromise. I like to keep an open mind. I don't want to set any like limits or like, I can only compromise up until this level. Like, no, I believe that relationships are a two-way street and both parties should meet each other halfway. So I would be willing to compromise. Are there any things you wouldn't be willing to compromise? I would be willing to compromise. Okay, so everything. Yeah, because it's the man of my dreams. Of course, I'd be willing to compromise. Okay, all right. Okay, man of your dreams, willing to compromise anything, make it work. All right.
All right, and last but not least, Whitney. You met your man of your dreams, everything you wanted. You wanted to do what you want, but there are some things he wants you to do, but are you willing to compromise?
I mean, I'm pretty like open to doing anything, so he would have to come up with some pretty outlandish things for me to have to feel like I was like going out of my comfort zone. As for compromising, I mean, I'm not gonna like change who I am as a person for somebody, for anybody, but that would be like, I mean, my values are just like, I care about my family and I care about my friends. So like, if it came to something like that, no, I would never change those things. Like if he's saying like, oh, you can't talk to your parents anymore or something like that, like go fuck
Or like,
yourself.
no, talk about reasonable, like something that's reasonable.
Okay, then yeah, within reason, of course. But like me saying this is my dream man, like I would have to know this person really well. I've dated people for a long time and like I don't even know them at the end of the relationship. They're, you know, I don't know.
No, yeah. Let me ask you. I mean, I'm saying your dream guy. You like him. You guys have talked. Everything's good. You know, he's not gonna. He treats you the way you should be treated. Everything.
Sure.
Yeah. So let me. Okay. Yeah. Huh? No. This is on YouTube. Let me. I'll touch it right after. No. Winnie, I have a question. So if you met a good dream guy, Winnie, and I guess the one thing he wants to compromise on is like he wants to be in a monogamous relationship. Would you do it? Because he likes you. He really likes you. He really likes you.
Yes, I would. I've done it in the past. I would. I know I would fall for that shit and I'd be in and I'd be cool for probably a few years and then we'll see. But I don't know. I would do it initially, yes.
I feel
Okay,
like
all right.
I feel like if we had guys here, they would all say no. This is what I am. This is what I do.
No, because the reason why I bring up, right, because I do believe everybody will change for the right person. I do believe that, right? So sometimes I do believe that if it didn't work out, then obviously that's not really the man wasn't going to become, because sometimes one thing I've noticed, sometimes we marry somebody's potential, but we don't really marry the reality. Does that make sense? So a lot of times what a lot of women will do, and I've noticed this, it happens a lot, is they'll marry somebody that has the potential to become their dream guy, but it's not really their dream guy, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you meet a guy, you know what, I think he has the possibility or potential to be my dream guy. But the thing is, I think it's important to like take your time in relationships and work on yourself, because I do believe it's all about attraction. And once you become a great version of yourself, then you'll be able to attract that dream person if you become that person. But sometimes I do when people say, oh, I wasn't willing to do this for this person. I just like, well, that's not the person you really wanted, because I do believe if it's somebody, if we all met the person that we really wanted, then we'll make things work. We'll figure out a way. Like a lot of you guys said, we'll figure out a way. All right. So Whitney is okay. So I do believe there's a part of you that you want monogamy. If you met the dream guy, because you're so adamant.
We're still having threesomes, okay? Like,
hey, guys would take that. If I was in a relationship and she was like, I want to bring another girl. I'm like, oh, you know what?
Once in a while, something.
I have a plan. Every time I'm gonna be asked for OnlyFans on my TikTok, I'm just gonna send them to her.
Do it. Whitney_blues.
All right, so there's a possibility. All right, I'm optimistic. There's you gotta find a dream guy, and you have a nice monogamous relationship and be happily ever after.
I'll keep you posted.
All right, so ladies, we've come to the conclusion of the podcast. It was very interesting just to hear your thoughts and your experiences with a lot of things we talked about. One thing I always ask at the end of the podcast, what was your take? What was your take on today's podcast? What you take away from it, and then how can people find you? There's a lot of thirsty guys on my chat right now, so they want to know where you guys are, how they can find you. All right, so I'll start with you, Christine, what did you take away from this podcast, and how can people find you?
Well, I'm all over. I'm on Instagram. My name is wildside_innocent face, and I'm on TikTok. I have my actual account on TikTok is christianson35, which
Mhm.
is temporarily banned for naughty content, but I have a backup. My backup is active right now. I have some followers there too. So it's christianson36.
Okay.
And I'm on Twitter too, which is also linked to my TikTok. I'm not sure what's the name on my Twitter.
And
But
what was your take? And what was your take from today's podcast?
Huh?
What was your take from today's podcast? What'd you get out of it?
I don't know. I can't say I took a whole bunch of knowledge, but it's good to see, different perspectives for sure. Like I like this. Like sometimes you just think of something just like one angle, and it's good to see like other perspectives.
All right, it's good. Yeah, because you hear
People like Whitney, it's definitely the other side.
Yeah.
So it's always good to see, and maybe you just like see things differently that way.
All right, nice. All right, cool. Wendy, same thing. What was your take, and then how can people find you?
I am Whitney.blues on Instagram, whitneyblues.com for all my dirty bullshit. And I'm kicked the fuck off TikTok as of yesterday. They deleted all of my accounts except for my foot fetish account and my mukbang account. So those are still there, but I'm a little annoyed, pretty annoyed, guys, to be quite honest. So whitneyblues.com. And my takeaway from this is that I'm definitely the most out of the box person in the chat. Like I have the most, I would say, a different approach to dating and relationships than everyone here, but I think everyone was cool and heard my side, but there wasn't any judgments. That was dope. I liked it. And it was nice to hear. I like the idea of other people, like Colleen and I have very different approaches, but like she has her values and she sticks by that. And like, that's great. Like people should know their values. I know mine. I don't expect every person to have mine, but it's nice when people know theirs. So it was good to be here. Thank you for having me.
No worries. And I like your, I like people who go their own path and go their own way. So hey, thank you for coming in. Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
All right. And Colleen, last but not least, same thing. What you're taking, and how can people find you?
So you can find me on TikTok at Jean Colleen, and my Instagram is also linked on there as well. And what I learned from this podcast tonight was I actually really enjoyed listening to other people's different perspectives in dating. Since I'm like the youngest one here, I enjoyed like learning and listening to like other people tell their own stories and share their own experiences in regards to dating, so that I find that that can also help me in the future as well. And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No worries. Yeah. So yeah, thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. No, one thing I love about this podcast is just like everything you guys said. It's just understanding like everybody's different life choices in their walks of life. So you guys all come from different things, different experiences. Because I do believe at the end of the day, like the only person who's going to figure out solutions to your life is yourself. So I know a lot of people that's watching this right now maybe can relate to a lot of you guys. And if they do, then at least they can hear somebody that understand their own walk of life and what they want for their lives. If they don't get that information or didn't get that support from their own life. So that's my takeaway from it. Thank you so much. Everybody that's watching, I know all these ladies are single. Definitely follow all their platforms. So if you follow me and you love my content, please follow their content and follow their platforms as well. I want to help these ladies as well. And yeah, if you they're all single, so if you think that you learn something about, if they read all their answers, their responses, if you can relate to it, maybe shoot your shot. Shoot your shot, all these ladies. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and conclude the podcast. I do this every single Saturday, and if you guys watch this show, I'll see you guys next Saturday.